The idea of modeling was something that I was unfamiliar with upon coming here. And coming to this session, I really realized that modeling is about coming up with an understanding in your mind that you can communicate with others.
So these 2 weeks were structured with kind of two main ideas in mind. First, we wanted to have student mode and teacher mode to give the teachers the opportunity to feel the frustration and all the feelings that their students are going to have with this type of pedagogy. Teacher mode to give them that place to reflect and apply it to their own classrooms. And at the same time, we wanted to provide a little bit of space for them to practice, try out a lab, tweak it with this new pedagogy in a system in a community of teachers, so that if you're going to learn from a failure or have some difficulty, let's learn in a safe environment. And then you can also pivot that straight into your classroom right away. You have something that you've tried. So it's a nice little baby step to get you started.
We got a chance to actually deliver a lesson that was completely modeling using all these tips and techniques, and then receive constructive feedback from our groups. So that definitely facilitates and builds your confidence being able to do it in your classroom.
We received some new data. It was basically after talking about Mendel, we were given data that ultimately showed a sex-linked trait, white eyes and fruit flies. And the interesting thing about it is every biology teacher in that classroom knew about sex linkage, but the power of that kind of lab is that we also had to explain why other ideas were wrong. How do we know that this trait wasn't carried on the Y chromosome? How do we know it was carried only on the X chromosome and not the X and the Y? And so even I, who have done this lab or have looked at this data for years and years and years, was learning something new, and that was to kind of explain how I know what I know and how I know that something else is incorrect.
I can really see myself integrating a lot of the ideas that I have learned in the past few days in my own classroom. And I think that they're really going to benefit the culture within my classroom, because students are going to be empowered to be in charge of their own learning. And I think this modeling professional development has really shown me a way to communicate that with my students and roll it out in a very smooth way.
What's most challenging is just how to do it. It's just how to effectively get the students to develop the models on their own without just coming to the rescue too quickly. And the two leaders we have are experts.
They have been very supportive with their time, with their sincerity, with their honesty, and most critically with their acknowledgement of the reality that this process is slow, it's tedious, it's frustrating, but in the end the gains will far outweigh the challenges of having gone through it.
The community of this workshop has been extraordinary. There's so many supportive voices in the room and so many like-minded individuals. And what I mean by like-minded is teachers that are open to changing how they're approaching teaching.
10 years, I would love to hear from teachers from this year and say, hey, I'm using it and I've tried this and it works great, and I haven't tried this yet, but I'd like to. Just to see them really kind of take it and run with it, I would love to see that in 10